Hello and welcome to Woo Book Wednesday. Today's book review is brought to you by a video that I recorded last year-ish, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. It was recorded for another platform and was recorded live actually. So I'm going to share that with you here this week. So I hope you enjoy that. I figured it was easier to just reuse a video than to remake one for the same book. So enjoy, and we will see you next time.
Hello, I want to welcome you this evening to episode 2, or what has now become episode 2 of what I'm hoping will be a weekly live video on what I'm reading. Last week I did the first episode where I talked about the Ethics and Healing book that I'm reading for a class I'm taking, and I haven't finished it, so I'm still reading it. But I said last week that I'm reading a bunch of books at one time, which I'm always reading multiple books at one time. So this week I want to talk about another book I'm reading, and it is called Hebrew Amulets, Their Decipherment and Interpretation. And I'm showing you the cover page of this book, or the title page, because the cover can't see what it's called, because you see this lovely Penn State tag on the book, because I borrowed the book from Penn State because I don't own it. I didn't want to buy it. My library system doesn't have it, so I got it through Interlibrary Loan. So quick plug for Interlibrary Loan. If you're ever looking for a book at your public library and they don't have it, ask about Interlibrary Loan, because it's a great service, and then you can get just about any book out there that may not be available to you otherwise. So that's my little plug for Interlibrary Loan as a professional librarian. Just wanted to share that. So anyway, about Hebrew Amulets, Their Decipherment and Interpretation. You can tell this book looks kind of old. It was published in 1966, and I decided I wanted to read this because I'm interested in Hebrew amulets, obviously. One thing that's not surprising about this book is being published in the 60s. The author is not too keen on believing in the powers of amulets. Not that far-fetched that the author would think that from a book in the 60s, but he does talk about how back in the ancient times and up until somewhat recently, people did believe in the power of amulets because, well, as he says, they didn't have science or medical knowledge, so they believed in magic. But I believe in magic anyway, and here it is, 2019, almost 2020, and I do believe in the power of amulets, so I wanted to learn more about the history of amulets in Judaism. The book mainly talks about what amulets looked like in the past. There are some pictures like this. It's mainly about identifying amulets based on the size and shape and the engravings on them, being able to tell what civilizations they were from, that kind of thing, and also what they might have been used for, different healings or to protect from the evil eye. That was a big one. But it goes into that mostly, like I said, identifying amulets, although there are some pretty cool sections at the beginning that talks about typical Hebrew amulets and what they would have looked like and kind of how they were made. So if you're interested in working with amulets, making your own amulets, that kind of thing, this might be a book that you might want to check out sometime and read, just to see what you can learn, if nothing else. I'm going to probably be making some before too long, so I thought it would be handy for me. Nice little history book there. That's what I'm reading this week. Stay tuned for episode 3 next week. See what I'm reading then. Thanks. Bye.